Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we have a student from the University of the Arts in Ecuador who is guitar player and studies musical arts. With us, Ivan Andrade.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm really exhausted by it is, but it's because I am the end of my academic career, and that is really special for me. So, what about you? How are you?
I'm very well. Tell us, what is the best lesson you have learned?
Well, I am very messy person in all aspects of my life. Emotionally, I don't clean my room usually. I confessed, and in my career academic, I have done it really badly. I remember at the beginning of my first semester, I was in love and I used to spend my time and my money on her. And for that reason, I had a terrible performance and I lost some class. And it was always depressed. But that was a good lesson for me because I understood the only thing that would remain for me as the years went by my academic career. And eventually more and more things will be happen that also might be difficult and I will know how to face them.
What happened for you to learn that great lesson?
Well, first, one of the things that hit me hard was injuring both my hands with an acute tendinitis. That was really terrible situation for me because I'm a guitar player and a guitar student. I couldn't take instrument in the university for almost 2 years. Since then, I have been in a state of depression from which is has been difficult for me to escape.
What other negative situation have you had to face?
Basically, I became the worst version of me. It was a real idiot with everyone, with my brothers, with my partners at the time, with my professors. I spent my time doing nothing until the day come when I told myself I can't continue like this. And I spent thousands of dollars trying to help, but nothing worked. So I tried to take care of myself, exercise my mind and body.
It is a great story and an example to follow for other young people. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Good night.
Good night. Tonight we have a students from the University of the Arts in Ecuador who studies literature with us, Maria Jose Menendez.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm very well. Tell us, what is the best lesson you have learned?
I had to learn to become independent in order to manage on my own life in an unfamiliar place. When I came to study in Guayaquil, I had many fears since I had never lived alone. I had always been with my family. For me, it was a real challenge. I had to learn to control my nerves. Also, I had to learn to get to place by asking questions. That's when I had to let go of my shyness. And finally, I had to learn to do my personal thing, like washing my clothes. Sometimes I didn't like to do.
Okay, and what about the relationships? I mean, how did to control your feelings with a new life?
I had to work to go to the university. So as got to know to now, I understood what the city was like. I I controlled my emotion, especially the negative ones. Uh, Also, as I was listening to people's advice, finally, by getting my mind ready to ask questions, I was able to overcome my nervous and shyness.
Okay. What do you do in yourself to be able to be out of the familiar environment in which you live?
I did things that I nervous imagined I would do. The first was to go for a walk alone to get to know the city. Second, I began to set myself personal challenges, such as going to other distant place to take a course. I did this alone. Finally, I didn't let anyone put negative thoughts into me so as not to frustrate myself.
Wow, it is a great history and example to follow for the other young people. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Good night.
Good night.